Hi, and welcome to another edition of OnsideSA Soccer. I was going to say last one standing because that's over, Budge. Yeah. I see my camera's gone. I'm going to have to work off here. Okay, make it difficult, guys. Budge, Mo Moore, congratulations.
Yeah, Paul spoke to you yesterday. Yeah, it was amazing. At half time, thought he was gone. 0-0 West Ham against Watford, and Man United were 1-up. In the second half, they got a deflected goal, and Man United never turned up. And tactically lucky, Paul. That's what you got to be. Congratulations to him. And
well done to Mo Moore. He's always
effort.
In the scrum. Very good effort. And Lawrence Werner's the boy from the south. Good run.
Great run, Paul. You know, you did everything right. You know, you picked Man United. They should have won. Unfortunately, didn't.
Right
I think Steve's working out his pick this week. Yeah.
You had Man United and he puked. Okay, two ladies still playing.
Yeah, still going, Paul. Has to be a winner.
Has to be a winner. And
Catherine Armstrong, Michelle Tovey. The good thing is they've got separate teams, so let's hope one of them wins it this week, Paul. But ladies, £1,000 voucher, so good luck.
Final competition starts this week.
Yeah, this Saturday, Paul. A lot of people have been notified.
Get them in, Let's go big. I know I'll be trying my hardest. The Mugs overseas, the Puking Steve and Abood and Charlie Pigram, they'll all be with Derek Ramsey, they'll all be trying. Okay, well, let's get hold of Steve. We've got some show topics to talk about. Yeah. Steve, are you there?
I am. Good morning.
You cleared your throat?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Steve, Kurt Zuma, you know, that's become a major issue, obviously kicking animals.
It's, you know, what a crazy situation. I mean, obviously it was a very unpleasant watch on the video, and how stupid of his brother to think it was something that people would find amusing. And it's really backfired, and it's cost him personally. He's been fined, we understand, 2 weeks' wages, £250,000 by West Ham. He's been dropped by his boot sponsor Adidas, but my understanding is West Ham have not formally dropped him from the squad, even though there's a lot of pressure on them to do that, and two of their corporate sponsors have suspended their sponsorship. So, you know, and a lot of pressure on the police to take action. And the cats, there are two cats, and they've been removed by the RSPCA from his house. So it's really, you know, not a good state of affairs, and very distracting for the club, I'm sure.
You know, Steve, I've been following it as well, but probably not as well as you. To me, Moyes is completely out of school. You suspend him or you drop him. You don't say, I've got to try and win something, I'm going to play him. You got booed all the time. It's a disgrace that a man can get away with that. You know, you don't do that to animals.
You're right. I mean, what it's saying is that if somebody does something wrong, it doesn't matter because football's more important.
Yeah.
So it gives the wrong message, especially somebody, you know, like Kurt Zuma, international footballer, Premier League footballer, who's meant to be a role model. So I think they got it wrong. I think, you know, the club should, and it's up to the club. It's not David Moyes' decision necessarily, because if the board turn around and say he's suspended, the same as Man United did with Mason Greenwood, he was suspended immediately. There was not even any question. So, you know, I think the club are under pressure to
Steve, I heard the
to
interview.
drop him.
I heard the interview from Moyes. Yeah. He was wrong. I've got games to win. It's got nothing to do with it. He's at the helm. He says, I'm not playing him. I don't care who owns the club. You'd have scored more points. It was a complete waste of time what he did, and it shows a serious flaw in Moyes' character. You do not do that. Then why not play Greenwood? We'll sort that out. Man United got to try and get top 4. Let's play Greenwood. Yeah. It's not acceptable, Steve.
Well, again, no, it's not acceptable, and I think that it sounds as if to me that he wasn't given any guidance from above. I mean, you've got a chief executive who basically Moyes would report to, who would tell him, you know, what's going to happen if the board decide Zuma is to be suspended. Now, obviously, you know, the club are being hit in the pocket because they've got sponsors who are suspending their corporate sponsorship. The board are not going to be happy about that. So it remains to be seen. I mean, obviously, if he does get picked and he plays at Leicester, I mean, he's going to get booed incessantly. Yeah. And it's going to be quite distracting. But the whole thing is it's very unseemly, and it's brought sort of football into disrepute again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're defending the indefensible.
Yeah,
Moyes has to be. I don't care who's above him, he picks the side.
Yeah.
And if someone says to him, don't pick him, then he doesn't. If someone says to him, do pick him. Then he told people, I've been told to pick him.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He said, I've got games to win. And anyway, let's move on. It really annoyed me. I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
Steve, you mentioned Mason Greenwood earlier. It has gone quiet on that front. On your side, have you heard
Yes,
anything?
it has, but no, I mean, I think obviously the legal, because of, he's been bailed. The police are obviously still carrying out their investigations. Nothing has been said about it at all, literally in the last week. He remains suspended, dropped by his sponsors, and I think the next thing we'll hear is whether or not he's been formally charged or not.
Yeah, that'll come up. Steve, I actually watched it last night. Wilfried Zaha's penalty miss. That's got to be one of the worst penalties I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What did he do?
I mean, it was. I mean, obviously, we saw that his left foot sort of slipped, and it came out. And when if you just watched it cold, it definitely looked like one of the worst penalties for somebody who is actually quite a deadly penalty taker. And when you think about the goal he scored just a few minutes earlier, rocket into the top corner. And that was an opportunity for Palace because they were, from what I saw, they were completely on top at that stage. So Norwich sort of got away with one and got a valuable point in the end.
Yeah. Steve, before we go into the previews, who do you think will finish fourth in the Premiership?
Well, they all seem to be falling over each other not to want that fourth place. United had fourth place in their sights, completely on top in the first half at Burnley, and then let it slip. West Ham holding fourth, but obviously have played more games. Arsenal and Tottenham have got games in hand, but again, Tottenham had missed the chance yesterday to close the gap. So it's going to be really close. I sort of still think that with the quality they've got, that United could fourth spot. They've got playing as a team rather than as individuals. I think for that.
Steve, the World Club competition, we haven't got it on here. Hopefully we can get the final on the weekend. Palmeiras, Chelsea, I see they're both fairly won comfortably. Have you guys got it on there?
Yeah, we have, although it's on I had to struggle to find it. I missed the beginning of the game because I couldn't find it on any of the normal channels. Very little coverage here. It's a competition that nobody's really that interested in. But obviously FIFA, are insistent that they keep having it. Chelsea were completely on top for the first hour, and then actually, I think maybe that because of the travel and everything, they tired a bit, and Al Hilal had 2 or 3 good chances. Yeah. And Al Hilal had players that we know. They had Pereira, ex-West Brom, Igalo, who we knew. But in the end, Chelsea sort of comfortable enough. Again, the final, European teams have come out on top in recent years. It's the one competition that Chelsea have never won. They lost last time they were in it, so I think they'd probably be determined to try and win it. But again, I don't think, apart from Chelsea fans, I don't think most people have much interest in the competition here.
Steve, we'll go through the Premiership results quickly. Tuesday night, I'll watch the West Ham Watford game. Watford I was impressed with. What does your brother think?
Yeah, he thought that they played very well and definitely seemed to be looking sort of, I suppose, a bit more solid under Roy than they were previously.
Definitely.
So, but they're under.
Yeah, they're under a bit of strife, aren't they? Scoring goals, I think, is their problem.
Newcastle, or were they like?
Newcastle, Steve, 3-1. I saw the goals. I'm worried for Everton.
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, Newcastle played well, but it was more about Everton not doing at all well. They didn't start with their new players. Donny van der Beek and Dele Alli didn't start, but the pundits seemed to think that it was a very poor defensive display by Everton, particularly in the second half. And Newcastle, obviously 2 wins now, gives them that sort of opportunity to pull themselves away. Yeah,
Burnley, Man United.
Well, first half, United should have been 2 or 3. I mean, they had so many chances. Second half, I guess this is what happens. If you're only 1-0 up, and the other team have got a chance. And Burnley had some good chances. They pushed further forward, and United, really in the end, didn't do enough really to win it.
Yeah, agreed. I watched a little bit in between Norwich, Crystal Palace. I agree. Norwich scored early, played well, but that 15-minute spell, Palace should have been 2 or 3-1. The moment they missed a penalty, I think 1-1 was nailed on.
Was the penalty saved or?
It nearly hit the corner flag.
Yeah.
But Steve, you crack on Man City Brentford. I didn't see anything of that. Did you?
No, I just saw the highlights. By all accounts, it was a fairly lacklustre game. City didn't create much in the first half. Obviously got the penalty, and then once De Bruyne scored, it was game over.
Yeah.
City did what they had to do without actually, sort of doing more than they needed, as it were. So they're 12 point. Liverpool got 2 games in hand, but it's going to be hard to breach that gap, I think.
Yeah, the game I watched was outstanding. Aston Villa versus Leeds United. 3-3. It could have been 6-6. Yeah, Leeds could have won it at the end because Villa had a player sent off. Did you see the highlights?
Yeah, I did. I watched a bit of the game as well, but some good goals. I mean, Leeds started off really well, but Villa with 3 goals in the last sort of 15 minutes of the first half, and you thought that would be enough. But Leeds came back strongly.
Yeah.
You know, having 1 or 2 players back from injury. It was a good point for them in the end.
Yeah, and the low light of the night, I'm sure. Tottenham 2, Southampton 3. Paul?
I watched every kick of the ball. We got completely outplayed in the first half. Sheesh, they rolled us, and then we scored. And it was an own goal, but a good bit of play, and I thought, we're doing all right. And then they equalised, good play, good goal, broke down the left. Then we went 2-1 up, a good play. And really, I thought, now we're well on top. We've led twice in this game, we're on top. We're starting to play well in the second half. 3-minute spell, 2 flick ones,
free headers,
2 free headers. Boom, same position, boom, 2 goals, 2 different players. And then we got an equaliser, but his foot was offside.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was definitely a right call. He was offside. Yeah. He was offside. But the better side won, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh, funny team at Southampton. When you think they're dead and buried, they try. Steve, on to our previews for the weekend. Massive game at the bottom. Everton Leeds. How do you see it?
I mean, Leeds, it's a game that can't afford to lose, there's no question. Whether or not he's going to shuffle the pack a little bit, Frank Lampard, because obviously he couldn't have been satisfied with the performance at Newcastle. Leeds obviously will be buoyed by the way that they fought at Villa. I think it'll be close. I did fancy it before the other day. I thought, I think Everton could win that, but I just think that for me a draw looks favourite.
Yeah, you just never know what you're going to get out of Leeds. Sometimes they're outstanding, the next week they're terrible. Now, Watford Brighton, this has upset written all over it. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think that this is the sort of game that Watford are going to have to target because obviously, they're in a difficult position. Their performance probably warranted a point at West Ham. Yeah. I think Watford could win that. I think that Brighton haven't played this week. I think Watford need to get back on track. They're not going to win many games, but they've got to pick points up from somewhere. I know Brighton are good away from home and hard to beat. For me, it's either a Watford home win or a draw.
Okie dokie. Newcastle, Aston Villa. This should be a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, I think so. I think certainly Villa are playing well under Steve Gerrard, although they have given goals away. I think Newcastle, you think will be buoyed by 2 wins in a row. I think that would be a really good game, probably one of the best games of the weekend. Yeah. I fancy either a home win or a draw there. I think that Newcastle just starting to show a little bit of fight with the new players they've got in. I think they're going to start clawing their way up slowly. So.
Yeah. Now, Steve, tread lightly here. Tottenham at home to Wolves. Wolves play Arsenal tonight at home.
Yeah, I mean Wolves are a hard team to beat. Give away very few goals, but don't score many. Yeah. So it might help Tottenham because Wolves are not that expansive. So, but Tottenham need back on track. Got games in hand still. I think of the two, I fancy Tottenham. I don't think Conte will be at all satisfied. I think Conte won't. He'll be very upset with the way they defended, and I think that. I think I expect to be tight, but Wolves are going to be hard to break down. Tottenham are going to have to get that first goal.
Well, Steve, you can see. I'll tell you one thing. Dyer will come in.
Yeah.
The right back, I hope, has been euthanized overnight. Doherty might come in, or Moura, or one of the new guys in that place. But you've got to shoot. There's 17 stray passes each of them. The right back and the centre half. Just not good enough.
Steve, last the weekend, Leicester, West Ham. That's a big game, especially for Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, very much so. He was. I mean, they were very poor
Jeez, they were.
at Forest in the cup. I mean, defensively, they were just shocking in the first half. And Brendan Rodgers was very outspoken, basically saying there are players there who aren't good enough.
Yeah.
They need to prove themselves. I think that again they got a tough game tonight. Obviously they're at Liverpool tonight. I don't think tonight is going to be the game they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
But I think against West Ham, I think he's expecting a much better performance, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do so and they get and there I fancy either a home win or a draw. I can't see West Ham going
Good
there.
boy, Steve.
Yeah, well, West Ham, they were lucky against Kidderminster, lucky against Watford. It won't be easy at Leicester.
West Ham weren't great at home the other night.
No,
They weren't great, yeah.
Steve, obviously Championship, that's your main focus. Your boys are cruising. Well, it looks like they're cruising to automatic promotion.
Well,
how do you see you going against Hull City?
Yeah, I mean, it's a potential banana skin. Hull have had some good results in recent weeks. Obviously, they won at Bournemouth, but then they slipped up in their last two games and they were well beaten by Derby on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I think that it's the sort of game that we need to go away and win to keep this gap at the top. I'd be disappointed with anything other than a win.
Yeah.
But Hull, with their new owner and new manager, could raise their game. So, I mean, they lost last time out at home, Hull, to your boys, Preston.
Yeah.
So, I just think that it's the sort of game that we've got the firepower. We're pretty much got, apart from one or two, we've got a full squad. It's the sort of game we should go and get a result. So I'm banking on an away win there.
Okie dokie. Blackpool versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth won last night. How do you see that?
They did, but they were hanging on a little bit at the end when they had a player sent off. Blackpool playing very well.
Yeah.
I saw them. Fulham, they played well. They won last week. They got a draw at Coventry the other night. I think Blackpool are capable of holding Bournemouth. I think it'll be tight. I'm not sure they beat them, but I could see Blackpool possibly holding them.
Okie dokie. This should be a good game. Notts Forest won a great roll. You think they'll beat Stoke?
Yes, I do. I think Forest are playing really well. Stoke away from home are not very strong.
Yeah.
They came back and won the other night after a few defeats in a row. But Forest are on a roll, and they've just got themselves into a playoff place. When you think that when Steve Cooper went there, they were bottom of the table, and here they are just in sixth place and one of the most informed teams. So I think they're definitely starters' favourites.
Yeah. Can my boys Preston win at Peterborough?
I think they can. I mean, Peterborough are really struggling. Lost again the other night. Concede more goals than anybody else.
Yeah.
Preston don't concede many. I think if Preston go ahead, I think they should win that.
Yeah, good things, Steve, good things. And last but not least, on Sunday, Swansea City against Bristol City.
Yeah, I mean, neither team are playing that well. Bristol City won last night against a very poor Reading team.
Yeah.
Swansea have really been disappointing this season. Having lost Steve Cooper, they're really struggling a bit. But I think they might just be a little bit too strong for Bristol. So for me, it's either a home win or a draw there.
Okie dokie. Pressure time again. Steve, need your best bet and value bet, please.
Yeah, my best bet, I'm going to go for QPR to win at Barnsley. I think Barnsley are really struggling. I mean, they one win in about 15 games. They can't put anything together. QPR away from home are quite strong.
Yeah.
And my best bet, I'm going to go for my value bet. I'm going to go for Watford.
Yeah.
I think decent odds, and I think they've got a good chance to win at home.
Yeah, so do I. I just think with Brighton selling Dan Burn, he's a good player at the back, big and strong.
Good player.
Spurs gave them a bit of a pounding the other night. I agree. I thought Joshua King was outstanding the other night. So, anything's possible. I agree with you there, Steve. To let you know, Preston's my each way bet, 16-10, my value bet. And I'm going for Swansea City. I fancy they played well against Blackburn until they had a player sent off. Then they were hanging on.
Yeah.
So, it's a Sunday, something to watch. But, Steve, thank you. Thanks again. Get your last one standing pick ready.
Thanks,
Anybody
Steve.
but Spurs. Eh?
Anybody but Spurs, Steve.
Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't want that to Paul.
No, thank you.
Talk to you next week.
All right, Steve.
Okay.
Thanks
Cheers,
again.
Steve. All the best.
Bye.
Right, Budge.
Yep,
Premiership fixtures. Let's
Get
see
the
how
fixtures
you're
up,
thinking.
yeah.
I need your opinion on these. Let's have a look at these fixtures.
Paul, Man United, Southampton. Well, what can you say about Man United? Paul, they're
not 5
they're
to
not
10.
firing for
They're
5
not
to
5 to
10.
10.
The only thing about it, last time we played Southampton at home, 9-0. So
You can have four. You can have America to one on that, haven't you?
Paul, at Southampton, you just
they play
don't.
well.
They play well, Paul. They just have a go, early kick-off. I think there'll be plenty of goals in this, Paul. Man United should win, but I just can't be with them, Paul.
They're susceptible. Maguire, did you see the equaliser? The guy turned him, he couldn't get back in time.
Paul,
he's struggling, eh?
He's struggling, Paul. He's having a bad run. Shouldn't be in the team, but there's nobody else.
No.
But 5 to 10 I wouldn't take, Paul, even though they should win.
Me too. I think United should win, but I'm going the draw.
No, I can't trust them.
Trust them.
Brentford Palace. I think it's a London derby. Massive
Tough
game for Brentford. Paul, they've lost 6 or 7. Yeah, they got beat last night. Where Palace, you just don't know what you're going to get for Palace. I was disappointed in them last night. I thought they were going to win.
Who's the boss then?
Vieira. Paul, the draw looks the right play for me, but any result's possible in that particular game. But if I had to have a bet, 22 to 10 the play.
Clanging game, Everton Leeds. Sure, this is a good game.
You just don't know with Leeds.
You don't know with Everton either.
You know, Everton at home, I just think that Goodison faithful, Paul, they'll be up for that. There'll be goals in that game, Paul. 11 to 10, I couldn't take Everton. Your mate Eric Redmond has told me there's more injuries at Everton, so they are a bit concerned.
Can you take 11 to 10 Brighton?
I couldn't take 11 to 10 Brighton, no chance.
They're a fair team, eh?
Paul, I just think that they start off, I think the draw's written all over this, Paul.
Okay.
But I wouldn't take 11 to 10 Brighton. I think they've drawn 7 of the last 9 away from home.
No, Norwich look like they're going to have to hold it together, or they can get
Well, they got no chance. I watched them last night. They scored early. I thought they'd go on and win, but they were no chance. Man City cruise.
Okay, the next game.
The second page, Paul, we go on to Burnley, Liverpool.
Burnley can fight hard, and they got people who in there can. You saw against United.
The thing is, United should have been 3-4.
There's no real quality.
There's nothing. They're just hard working.
Liverpool's all quality.
Paul, I think Liverpool will win 3-4-0. I think this is a comfortable victory for me. Liverpool, Newcastle, Villa. Paul,
good game.
This is either way for me. Yeah, Newcastle.
Villa aren't playing badly, but they're starting to concede a bit.
They're conceding too many goals. Paul, the centre half got sent off. The young guy, I think it was Konsa, so he'll be missing.
Did he get sent off?
Sent off, yeah. First tackle a bit harsh. Second one was stupid. Goalkeeper had it to take a quick 3, just ran into him, knocked him in the face. Yellow one off. Paul, this could go either way. I think goals is your play in that particular game. If I had to side with one team, it's just going for Newcastle at the moment. Unbeaten in 4, but any result wouldn't surprise me. Paul, your boys, Tottenham, I just think there has to be goals.
There have to be goals. At the back at home, the Conte must be revving them this morning. Oh. And Wolves are dangerous side.
Wolves are dangerous. They play Arsenal tonight, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's a good game because that's Molineux.
It's at Molineux.
I'm hoping we need this. We bounce right back into contention for fourth.
Of the two, I like Tottenham.
Because over the weekend, Arsenal and Chelsea's postponed because they're away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last game, Paul.
Hard game,
I can't have West Ham at 14 to 10. I've watched their last 3 games.
They've lost a bit of gloss, and I've lost respect for the boss. Yeah. So
I fancy Leicester of the 2 teams, Paul. 19 to 10. So any of our play, I think there's goals in that, but I don't see Leicester losing that. Yeah, they're not that bad a team.
All right, but let's go to Championship.
Yeah, on to the Championship, Paul. Big game early. I'll be watching this. Huddersfield, Sheffield United. You know, both teams. Huddersfield unbeaten 11. They've only lost one of the last 11 at home. And
Sheffield, 11.
Unbeaten
That's
11.
That's a good run, eh?
Sheffield United, I think, have won 8 of the last 10. So they're the form team in the league, going well. A draw's a player for me there, Paul. I don't see Sheffield United getting beat. A draw in Sheffield. Now, Barnsley just can't buy a win, Paul. Yeah. QPR, it's our man Tweels' team. They drew 2-2 with Middlesbrough last night. At home at Middlesbrough. Even money looks a gift. But every time I've gone for QPR away from home,
QPR that I know.
They've got a.
What's his name?
He was at West Brom. He's Charlie Austin.
Charlie Austin.
So it should be. Steve, I agree with his even money pick. I just don't trust him though. Now Birmingham City, I watched them at home. They had a full go. They got robbed against Sheffield United. Now Luton have won 3 of the last 4 away from home. Paul, I saw 9 to 10 both teams to score. That's my play. Okay. Birmingham a draw for me there. I can't trust Bournemouth, Paul. Every time you think
they have to start winning.
Paul, they've got that Nat Phillips played for.
But they've still got the Fulham boss.
Yeah, he's still there, Scott Parker. It's just away from home, Paul. They battle away from home. This is a big test. Blackpool at home are hard to beat. It's a bumpy pitch. I think 24 to 10 is a player there, Paul. But even money, both teams to score is my suggestion, though. Our next page, Hull Fulham. I think Fulham is certainties.
Good price, 8 to 10.
Yeah, certainties.
They scored against Man City.
They score against everybody. You know, Mitrovic is unstoppable at the moment. Yeah. Hull City played good football.
Yeah,
I watched them against Preston last week.
Good
attacking team, good game. Fulham to win, both teams to score 5 to 2. I think that's the game there. Middlesbrough, Derby are fighting hard, Paul. Remember a few weeks ago?
Yeah,
I think they were like 14 to 1 to go down. I think they're like 3 to 1 to at the moment. So great odds. Middlesbrough going well, Paul. They drew 2-2.
Did you read about how much money Rooney's put in to keep things going? He's paid things out of his own pocket. Class act, Rooney.
You never hear that, Paul. Never gets highlighted.
Never
but
gets
if you dig in,
highlighted. I read the story of what he's done for that club. They had no money for this. They had no money. He just paid. Good man.
Yeah, good man. I don't see them winning though, Paul. Middlesbrough, the dark horse to get promotion. Chris Wilder, the Sheffield Wednesday United. Sorry.
Derby going to fight for everything.
Yeah,
They've got
I think Middlesbrough will roll them though, but it should be a tight game. Middlesbrough, Cardiff.
Are you paper square?
Sorry, Paul, yeah. Millwall don't get beat at home. So Millwall in a draw for me. Cardiff have won the last 3, so they won't go down, but be hard to win at the Den.
Good side. Forest are doing well.
Paul, they were great last week against Leicester. You know, they won last night. They went to Blackburn and won 2-0. 14-10 looks a big price.
Stoke City strugglers. Eh? I thought they'd do better at the beginning of the year.
So did I. I thought they were an outside chance to get in the playoffs, but at the moment, no chance. 14-10.
Okay, next one.
The next page. Peterborough, Preston, Paul, 16-10 Preston. It shortened. I was on them yesterday. It shortened. I think it's about 14-10. We're a better team away from home than at home. Peterborough can't score. Paul, I fancy Preston big time. Reading, Coventry. I'm surprised with the struggle. They haven't won in 9, and they haven't won at home in 9. Coventry 15-10. Paul, it's just that you can't trust them. They're better away from home than at home. Coventry in the draw for me there. Swansea is my best bet of the weekend, Paul. I watched them against Blackburn last Sunday. They won 1-0. They were in control, but they had a player sent off, and they were hanging on at the death. Bristol City away from home are woeful. I think it's 2 points in the last 9. I think there'll be goals, but Swansea 11-10.
What's happened to West Brom, Budge?
Steve Bruce has taken over, Paul. I don't know what's gone wrong. I think
They haven't got an easy game.
No, Blackburn.
But they need to get back.
Paul, Monday night, both teams to score even money. That's my suggestion there. It's hard to trust either team. Okay. I wouldn't take 9-10 West Brom, but they are the better team, even though they're in a lesser position. But that's my play, even money.
Okay, let's go Nedbank now. Let's go local.
Yeah, there's only 4 on this weekend, or 4 they had the betting on. Paul, Stellenbosch a second, going well. Baroka second bottom, so it should be Steve Barker, Stellenbosch, Paul. Yes. 4-10's a bit short, but you know they should win. Platinum City got relegated. You know, they're in the first division now. Sekukuna is a team that are in the, I think they're 6th in the league, 11-10, but none of the teams have played for a while, Paul. Yeah. So it's a bit difficult. So a draw on Sekukuna for me there. You know, Royal AM, that's a team based in Chatsworth, the old Bloom Celtic team. I think it's 6 wins and 2 draws in the last 8 home games.
Jeez, that's
but
good.
Cape Town City are a fighting team. That's Eric Tinkler's side. Very tight, Paul. Royal AM and a draw for me there. And Chiefs have to beat TS Galaxy. I think Chiefs are the dark horses to win the Nedbank Cup 5-1. Yeah, so that would be my play.
Okay, let's go there.
Yeah, CAF, Paul. It's the group stage of the Champions League. So Sundowns at home. They're a good team. They'll be close to winning it. You know, Al Ahly knocked them out last year in the semi-final. So 4-10, Al Hilal, they should beat them. And Raja Casablanca, they're a good team. They lost in the CAF Super Club to Al Ahly on penalties. They should be too good. Amazulu. Not easy to go to Morocco and win, Paul.
What about Orlando
Pirates?
Well,
the group stage as well. That's the CAF Confederations Cup. Pirates don't get beat at home. 1-3, Paul. Should be. But Algerian side, Sawora, you never know what you're going to get. But Pirates are a decent team in Soweto, so it has to be Pirates for me there.
All right, Budge, tell me about your pools.
Yeah, on to the exotics for the weekend. The Gold Circle one. I've gone the field in the Brentford Crystal Palace game. I'm chancing Everton to win at home against Leeds. I've gone the field in the Watford Brighton game. I've gone Real Madrid to avoid defeat at Villarreal. Likewise, Inter Milan to avoid defeat at Napoli, and I have to bank Man City beat Norwich 2-1-6.
Okay.
The Pumalela Soccer 6. I'm chancing Man United. I have to find another banker.
They still call it Pumalela Soccer 6.
It's Man United to beat Southampton. I've gone Royal AM to avoid defeat at home against Cape Town City. I've gone the field in the Brentford Crystal Palace derby. I've gone Everton win and draw at home against Leeds. I've gone the field in the Watford Brighton, and I've banked Chiefs to win at home against TS Galaxy 2-1-6. Okay. On to our Gold Circle Soccer 10. I'm banking Man United to beat Southampton, Bayern Munich to beat Bochum, the field in the Brentford Crystal Palace game. I've gone Everton win and draw at home against Leeds. I've gone Watford 1-2-3 against Brighton Hove Albion. On to our second page. I'm going Fulham to be too good at home for Villarreal. I'm going Real Madrid to avoid defeat at Villarreal. I don't see Inter Milan losing at Napoli. I'm banking Man City to win at Norwich City, and I'm going Atletico Madrid, win and draw in the Madrid derby against Getafe, 288. We finally got the Soccer 13 back. I'm going Man City to be too good for Norwich. I'm chancing Everton to beat Leeds United. I'm going Brentford, win and draw at home against Crystal Palace. Likewise Watford, win and draw at home against Brighton. I don't see Queen's Park Rangers losing at Burnley. I think Birmingham City can draw at home against Luton Town, and so can Blackpool at home against Bournemouth. Our second page, I'm going Notts Forest, win and draw against Stoke City. I'm banking Fulham to beat Hull. Middlesbrough to beat Derby. I'm going Millwall, win and draw at home against Cardiff City, and ending with 2 away bankers, Preston to beat Peterborough and Coventry City to win at Reading, 256.
All right, Budge, let's go
our-
on to your
Paul, I couldn't
Budge's
believe
best.
the price of this. It's a Premiership double, so it's like last week, over 2.5 goals and both teams to score no. It's 2-1 Man City to beat Norwich, 3-0, 4-0 or 5-0. I don't see Norwich scoring there, and I don't see Burnley scoring against Liverpool. That was 7-2. So I'm going Liverpool, those games.
I'm going back to the question I'm going to
Yes.
ask you, Budge. Just say Norwich.
If Norwich wins 3-0,
If Norwich win 3-0, the bet's still
bet's
on.
still alive, yeah.
Okay.
So it's Norwich or Man City to win and
yeah,
both
okay.
teams to score no.
All
Our
right.
Premiership, over 2.5 goals. I'm going Man United, Southampton, Everton, Leeds, Norwich, Man City, Burnley, Liverpool, and Newcastle, Aston Villa. 12-1, 2,400 to 200 was our play.
Okay.
Onto the Championship, I'm going Fulham to beat Hull City and both teams to score, and Swansea City to beat Bristol City and both teams to score.
Good odds.
3,800
Good
to
odds.
200. Our Championship, both teams to score are Birmingham Luton, Blackpool Bournemouth, Middlesbrough Derby, and West Brom Blackburn. 2,700 to 200.
Both teams to score.
Yep, both teams to score, yeah. Our team goals sides are Everton, Tottenham, Fulham and Swansea City, all to score over 1.5 goals or a minimum of 2.
That's a good bet.
2,800 to 200.
Good odds as well. Good
And our
odds.
College King 6 on extra, I'm going Liverpool to beat Burnley,
Yeah.
Man City to beat Norwich, Fulham to beat Hull. I had to have a decent price side, so I went Preston to beat Peterborough, PSG to beat Rennes on Friday, and Barcelona to beat Espanyol on Sunday. 4,000 to 200.
Some good bets there, Budge. I think
let's
we're
hope
looking
so,
good.
Paul.
I think we are looking really good. Well, there we go. That's the football. Don't forget the new last one standing. This weekend it starts. Well done to Mo Moore for winning the other. The 2 girls are still fighting it out, and make sure you get on because it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Until next time, stay on side.